In this video I'll show you 19 mini challenges you can do in career mode to not get bored in FIFA 23. These are certain rules or storylines you can apply to your current save that you are already doing or which you can use in a new career mode save. The first mini challenge to do in FIFA 23 is a fictional storyline where you have to start a partnership with another football club. Pick a decent team from another league and every season in your career mode save sign at least 2 players from them to use in your own team. Whenever the other team wants to buy or loan a player from you, you immediately have to accept that offer without trying to negotiate. If you are struggling building a fun team, then have 11 players from 11 different leagues in your starting 11. Buy each player from a different league and you can even expand this to have 1 player from each league on the bench and reserves as well. I would recommend to not make it too easy for yourself and choose players from leagues you don't normally use. And this will help you find great hidden gems in your career mode save as well. If you feel like your save has become a bit too easy, add a challenge that you have to sell your 3 highest rated players every season. Because of this rule, you will have to rebuild your squad every season, making it a lot more challenging. If you find selling 3 players a bit too much, then you can also choose to sell your top goal scorer every season, making you have to find a new top striker. Similar to having players from 11 different leagues in your starting 11, you can also do the same with nationalities. This means you have to fill up your starting 11 with players from 11 different nationalities. You can of course expand this to the bench and reserves as well, and once again I would not recommend to use the standard countries, but try players who have a bit more of a unique nationality, and this helps you a lot finding hidden gems. Now, in contrary to the previous 2 mini challenges, you can also only have players from 1 specific league in your career mode save. Of course, it's no fun to only have Premier League players, so try and make a team from the MLS, the Argentinian League, or maybe even the Eredivisie. And if you want to recreate what Wolves are doing in real life, then you can also build an entire starting 11 with players from just 1 nationality, just like Wolves are trying to do with Portuguese players. You can make it quite easy for yourself by picking French or English players, or make it a bit more harder to only have players from Sweden, Scotland or Mexico in your team, for example. If you don't like only being limited to just 1 country but like the idea of only using certain nationalities, then you can also transform your current squad in career mode to only have players from 1 continent. So if you want to have an African squad, you can only use players who have an African nationality. And of course, don't pick Europe as that is way too easy, but try and do this with players from Africa, Asia, North America or maybe even South America. You might be a bit bored of using the standard Wonderkids you use in career mode every time. So why not rebuild your entire squad and only use youth academy players? Each season you will have to sell a few real players and replace them with a few youth academy players. And of course, if you already have a great squad, you will have to sign a few more expensive scouts to help you get better youth academy players. You can also add the rule that you can use regens, which are regenerated players made by FIFA. When a real player retires, the next season a new regenerated player spawns in the same league they retired in. The regen also plays in the same position and also has the same nationality as the player who retired. If you like basketball or just want to use different types of players, then add a challenge that you can only have tall players in your squad. I would recommend to use players who are 6'3" or 190 centimeters or taller. This will give you a great advantage with corners and headers, but this might see you struggle on the pacey and agile side. And of course, the opposing side to this is that you can also build a team full of short players. For example, players who are 5'9" or 175 centimeters or shorter. These players will be much faster and more agile, but of course you will struggle a lot with corners and headers. But of course you can also use the youth academy to find short or taller players who you need in one of the 2 mini challenges I just mentioned. Almost every club has had 1 legendary season where they won some sort of silverware. So if you do manage a club who has had some iconic seasons in their club history, why not remake their squad? So if you manage Inter, for example, why not recreate their starting 11 and perhaps even their bench from that treble winning season? You can do this by playing the same formation, preferably even having the same tactics, and have the players who have the same nationality as the players who played in this special season. If you like using the development plans in career mode and like to train your players to have 5-star skills or 5-star weak foot, then try and create an entire starting 11 and perhaps even the bench players as well, who all have 5-star skill moves or 5-star weak foot. You can also sell your entire squad and only sign free agents. This will make it a lot more difficult to build a good squad, and you will have to hope for some good regens to get added to your save when you are a few seasons down the line. If you do this from the first season onwards, then this could be a great challenge because there are only a limited amount of decent free agents at the start in career mode. Another fictional storyline you can use in your save is to give your club a transfer embargo Embargo for 1 or 2 seasons. This means you can't sign any players for that amount of time. You think your career mode save might get even more boring because of this, but I would add another rule that you have to sell at least 2 or 3 starting 11 players in every season, meaning you have to replace them with reserve players or with youth academy talents. A fun little challenge you can do is to try and revive a failed Wonderkid's career. There are plenty you can use in FIFA 23, for example Mario Balotelli, Max Meyer or Stefan El Shaarawy. Buy them from their current club, use them in a starting 11, make sure they play well and try to get them to a high rating that they were always expected to have. If you want me to make a video showing several failed Wonderkids in FIFA 23, then let me know in the comments below. You can also recreate a legend from the country your club is from, or maybe even recreate the biggest legend from that country. So if you're doing a career mode save in the Netherlands, you should try and find the next Johan Cruyff by finding a Dutch center forward. You can decide to use a real player who you can turn into a center forward, or you can try and find a suitable youth academy talent. A similar idea is to recreate the biggest legend from the club you are managing. So if you are managing Barcelona for example, you could try to find the next Lionel Messi by signing a new Argentinian right winger. You can also try to find one from the youth academy, but the point is that you have to turn them into one of the greatest players in the world. Change up your team a bit by having at least one player from each continent in your starting 11. This might sound easy at first, but when you already have a solid squad, it might be a bit difficult to find a higher rated player from Oceania for example. And a fictional storyline I really like to use is to have 2 of your current players go up against each other. Let's say you play a 2-striker formation, and for one season both strikers have to challenge each other, and whoever scored the most goals and gave the most assists at the end of the season can stay at the club, and the other player has to be sold immediately. Which mini challenge will you try in your career mode? Let me know in the comments. If you want to know the best teams to use in a save to apply these mini challenges in, then be sure to click the video which you see on your screen right now, and I will see you at the next video.